If you like orchids, you're going to love this next story. Today we're going to take you to a place that's got the biggest variety of orchids in the entire world, and it's right here in Ecuador. Come join us.
Ecuagenera has the biggest orchid diversity, orchid diversity in the world. We have, many different species, many different hybrids, and we keep crossing. We keep crossing. I mean, we're like crazy, and we like
crazy
to have
in a good way.
Exactly, of course, yes.
Jose Portilla loves orchids. From his headquarters in Gualaceo, Jose oversees an empire of orchid farming, cultivating tens of thousands of orchids in his greenhouses while continuing to collect new species from around the world. His main grow centers are located in the 3 major temperate zones of mainland Ecuador.
The climates in Ecuador are perfect to grow 99% of orchids of the world. That means, that plants that come from Africa, we can grow in Guayaquil. We can grow plants from Asia in the Amazon basin, and plants from the Andes or cool growing we can grow, of course, here at high elevation greenhouse in Gualaceo at 2,200 meters. So we have the conditions to grow almost everything.
Jose's award-winning hybrid orchids are a riot of color: deep reds, bright yellows, oranges, whites, pinks, purples, an explosion of pleasing color combinations and exotic shapes from around the globe, including the famous monkey face orchids of northern Ecuador. Jose sells his orchids, of course, but he is more than a talented botanist and businessman. Jose is a major environmentalist, sending his people into the world's jungles to discover new orchid species he saves from possible extinction.
This year we described 6 new species of orchids. And the idea is to keep describing, because I think in Ecuador there is more than 1,000 new species, and in the Andes, of going to the Amazon basin or going to the Pacific coast.
Mother Nature is his business partner. Orchid pods like these have millions of microscopic seeds, allowing Jose to both maintain rare orchid varieties and create new hybrid species in his high-tech laboratories.
We take the flower and all the parts of the flower, and we measure and compare with the others.
Jose loves to show off the many amazing species of orchid he has in his inventory, describing with glee their clever symbiotic relationships with insects to reproduce. This orchid, for example, emits a sweet smell that attracts pollinating insects and perfumes their bodies. Without this orchid perfume, their mates will not reproduce with them. This orchid variety has a special pistil that closes to pollinate after being touched by its insect pollinator. And this orchid has a cachet of gene-infused water the insect carries from one plant to the next to induce pollination.
Nature is to be consistent, the same species. So the insect will take in this part, or this part, or this part, or this part, this part, or here, or here. It will depend the flowers, and that's why the species are reproducing as species and not natural hybrids.
While nature is all about consistency, Jose is all about creating hybrids, mixing different species in the laboratory to create new orchids that are larger, more colorful, and flower longer than their purebred ancestors.
So this is another hybrid that we did here. When you do a hybrid, you have to wait sometimes 6 years to see the results. But when you see the flowers, are very, very nice. All the plants that has this blue flag, that means that is pollinated. So after that, we collect the seed pod and we take to the laboratory to germinate. The idea is to reproduce all weekend. So the laboratory has people with good skills to reproduce all these miniature orchids, all the big flowers, and each day we are learning more and more.
Jose got interested in orchids thanks to a local environmentalist priest who gave him 3,000 plants representing about 300 different species. Well, that was 27 years ago. Today, Jose cultivates and sells well over 4,000 different species of orchid and growing.
We need to a lot of time, a lot of people going into the jungle with permits, of course, to look for new species before it's too late. When the forest is gone, everything is gone.
A perk of his conservation work is the honor of naming newly discovered species.
These ones we found it in the Amazon basin, and I named after my wife.
Wow.
So this has my wife's name, Masdevallia ingridiana.
Jose has named new orchid species after his daughters, his friends, and even himself.
It has a very good perfume.
Jose is concerned with the long-term impact of destructive fires, which are used to clear South American jungles for farmland and oil exploration. He says Costa Rica's policy of protecting diverse microclimates for ecotourism is his role model.
And the idea is to be able to collect before it's too late. When I say before it's too late, before somebody has the mind to cut the forest and make pasture or make agriculture, and it's gone.
Setting an example, Jose purchased 500 acres of farmland in Panji in the Amazon basin, removed the cows and other livestock, and let the forest grow and return to its former natural state. He says Mother Nature can reverse the damage given time to heal.
So the idea is in the future to take tourists there and to show the biodiversity there and protect. Because I think that we need to protect the forest. Instead of the people living from the mine or petroleum, we can live much better if we protect the forest.
To find out more about Jose's beautiful orchids and conservation work, to purchase orchids, or to schedule a tour of Ecuagenera's orchid farms, visit Ecuagenera.com. That's all for today, but if you'd like to see more of our videos, please visit us at patreon.com/greenbirdievideo. And you can also check us out at experience-ecuador.com. Until next time from Ecuador, I'm Rob Bell.